has phthalates in them. And guess what? Phthalate is a endocrine disruptor and a carcinogen. And they're found in perfume. So they can spray out nicely. And parabens are found. So if you look at the label, when it says fragrance, you know, how do you feel when it says fragrance? Nice, all right, good for you. Ooh, nice, smell good. What that means, it could be a number of many chemicals, and very often you're going to find parabens and phthalates in them. And they do not have to label them because it's a trade secret, you know, because they want to, you know, it's my secret how to make it this nice smell. So whenever you see fragrance, you should be terrified. So next one, please. So phthalates are found in baby toys because it makes the plastic soft. So they're like loaded in the gumming toys, so it's nice and soft. They can gum on it. And next one, please. And cosmetics. It's like very, very widespread in cosmetics. In shoes. I mean, I have bought shoes that I just couldn't stay in the same room with it. I had to just like take it out. You know, it's just. Because I'm very sensitive, it bothers me very easily, fortunately. So shower curtains, so when you're showering, you're getting phthalates from your shower curtain, chloroform from your water, and formaldehyde from your soap. And so anyway, sorry. Okay, so and these are also all the products that contains parabens in it. So there are parabens, both phthalates and parabens are actually a group of chemicals, a whole bunch of different ones. So they also found abundant alkaline phenols. Like, what is that? That is what makes soap suds up, right? So almost all soaps have it, whether it's hand soap, laundry soap, because the makers of these detergents want you to feel you're actually cleaning. It makes you feel like you're doing something, right? I'm paying for this. I want to see some results. And I wanted to see it foam up. So that foaming up is actually, that's what you're looking at. And guess what? It's an endocrine disruptor, and it's also a carcinogen. And once again, it's a whole big group of different chemicals. Right? And, can we go back? Flame retardants. So flame retardant is found in most of these homes. And also from that study, from the EPA, the Department of Health study, they have found that everyone they tested had flame retardants in their blood. So there's one way you're getting it. You're getting it through the air, you're getting it in your food, and you're getting it in your water. Just make sure all bases are covered. It's found in everybody's blood. So what are these things? So in almost all the cleaning products, you're going to find that. And next one. And this flame retardants, we want you to be nice and comfy and not worried about being burned to death when you're sitting on a big couch. So we want to make sure it is completely soaked with fire retardant so you can rest easy. And everything that touches a baby, the law requires, like especially pajamas, require that has fire retardants in them. So, and of course, research shows that for obvious reasons, babies who are exposed to these chemicals are actually far more seriously affected. Yeah.
Vulnerable.
They're much more vulnerable. And of course, a lot of these studies show now actually they come preconditioned. They've already all got these chemicals already in their mother's womb. Some studies show over 100 chemicals in babies in the womb, actually. So you have it on the TV, computers, carpet. When you're sleeping, make sure you can rest easy again. And fabric, huh? Oh yeah, they put in pillows. It's all the bedding stuff.
Like pillows and flame retardants.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah. So all this is constantly giving out flame retardants into your air. Next one, please. So what is what do we do? So you can't do that. So next one, please. So there are actually alternatives. So in fact, even the EPA has a website that shows you like the different category of cleaners and products and the different kinds of hazardous ingredients that are found in them, and alternatives of different that you can make your own. You know, there's stuff you can do. So,
A lot of baking soda.
A lot of baking soda, absolutely. So there are all kinds of things you can actually, simple things you can do actually. Next one, please. And this is the National Geographic, has a green guide. Again, it has all kinds of recipes on there, like how you can make your own household products, so you don't have to buy them. Next one. And actually, the environmental working group I mentioned earlier, they have a big database just for sort of personal care products. And like you can type in looking for stuff. Remember triclosan? We talked about triclosan earlier. So you can sort of like specifically target specific chemicals and look up to see if these products contain these chemicals. So the best thing would be to make your own. If you can't make your own, there are other database information out there that you could sort of search, because these are not going to be listed on the label, right? Next one, please. And here's another one, guide to less toxic products. Again, you can see the all different categories that you can search. Next one. And also, some scientists at NASA, they were concerned about indoor air sometimes a couple of decades back, and they did some research about how plants can take in these toxins. So there's a whole bunch of plants, to put in house plants in your house, that you can also help take in, like some of them can take in like formaldehyde, you know, different kinds of toxins. Recently, then people have sort of like been sort of questioning that study, and they said, well, you know, maybe it's not the plants that's taking it, it's really actually the microbes in the soil. Well, who cares, whatever. So whether it's the plants or microbes in the soil, having house plants can help, right? Obvious. So, and once again, if you email me, I'll send you my PowerPoint so you can have all this information if you like. And these are the common house plants that you can use. Next one, please. But what about, so actually I want you to, because I put a lot of information out just now, I really like you to talk to each other for a minute. Why do you think this is? Like, how do we get to be where we are? And what, no, there are alternative to products, but what else can we do? What do you think is really the cause of the problem? So I would like to just take a pause for a few minutes for you guys to talk to each other and see what we can sort of put some brainstorm together. Have you asked the question that why is it our indoor air so bad? You know, and I didn't point it out, but in one of the EPA things earlier, they actually said indoor air can be 2 to 5 times worse than outdoor air. Some of the chemicals are 2 to 5 times more concentrated inside and outside, some up to 10 times more concentrated indoors than outside. Any suggestions why that is?
Air conditioning.
Oh, all right, good job. Air conditioning, all right. We want to make sure our air is conditioned. And exactly what are we doing? We are conditioning it with lots of toxins, and that's what has happened. So we want to be comfortable, so we keep the windows and doors closed and turn on the air conditioning, so we make sure we don't lose any of the formaldehyde out the window. And actually, some people say, oh, let's like reduce the energy we use in air conditioning, so let's make the windows tighter. You don't get points for being sensible. You get points for like, you know, spending more money doing like good things, like, you know, making sure we reduce. How about, wow, there you're cooked. That's why they use a lot of air fresheners in airplanes. So next one, please. Simple solution. And it's free. You don't even have to pay. Free solutions are never good solutions, apparently. So the next one, please. So while we have alternatives to the chemicals, it's okay, household products is easy. I mean, I've given a couple of talks on food and water, and those are harder to think about solutions. But with household products, it's easy, right? You just don't use them. You know, you can be dirty, you know. Actually, And actually, my breakfast is a drink I made in a blender. I have never washed a blender with soap ever, and I am not sick. Well, maybe here, but physically I'm not sick. And a lot of this idea that we need to be clean is, I don't know where it actually comes from. In fact, actually, actually, the study has shown that we had the polio outbreak because we got too clean. So being exposed to germs are important. Actually, some recent studies show that on our skin, on average, the estimate is 500 different bacteria on our skin. And their function is to protect us from the environment. And another study showed that actually, people who have diabetes, they don't heal really quickly. And that's because they don't have that many bacteria on their skin. They have a lot of volume, very small in variety. So they don't heal as well. So now we're beginning to understand bacteria actually helps us heal, right? So we all have already begun to understand the bacteria inside our stomach is really important, right? So somehow, I don't know where we came from this idea that we need to attack the bacteria. And when we attack the bacteria, actually, we are actually making ourselves sick, right? So yeah.
It's advertising. How many times on TV do you see the commercials where you see the little germs that are getting killed by the big spray, and all of a sudden the house is all clean because it's a $1 billion a year industry or more.
Absolutely, absolutely. And more you're seeing people using antibacterial soap on their hands, right? And the more you use antibiotic, the more you're going to be...
Only the strong germs survive, and then those ones reproduce.
So we're actually seeing that, the widespread of use of triclosan in consumer products, we're seeing more resistance in the bacteria. So once again, study has shown the antibacterial soap is not helping you at all, but it is actually decimating the population, so making the bacteria resistant to antibiotic, right? So we can deal with that, and it's good. So you can just be dirty, stop using soap altogether. My body doesn't see soap much at all, and I wash like things I use with no soap. I wash my floors with no soap, and I am still here. I may not smell pretty, but I rather not smell pretty than dizzy. Okay, but the problem is that this same Department of Health report shows that a lot of these endocrine disruptors has transgenerational effects. What that means is that what they've shown with the laboratory rats is that even the rats, so mommy and papa rat are exposed, they have babies, they're not exposed, and they have babies, they're not exposed, and the grandchildren are still showing effects of having been exposed. So if we were to clean up completely tomorrow, if you are childbearing age and you don't have kids yet, and when you have your grandchildren, they are still going to show effects of having exposed. And that puts a huge, huge responsibility on all of us. Next one, please. So this was interesting. I was emailing with EPA. I'm harassing them all the time. So they sent me an email and they gave me these reports. It was what I thought was really interesting. I thought share with you. So they're looking at what is the biggest risk. Listen, obviously if you're a worker in a chemical factory, that's a problem. Indoor radon's a problem. We don't have to worry about that much. But pesticide on food, indoor air, consumer exposure to chemicals, and pollutants in the air are considered at the highest. And then the next one is actually a more recent re-evaluation. Next slide. Not so recent, but they put so air, again, you're working in a factory, indoor air, and drinking water. So in other words, in the top hazards to your health is your food, your water, and your air. In other words, the greatest hazard is just being alive. Eating, drinking, and breathing. Next one, please. So ultimately, right, ultimately, if you have a sick planet, you're not going to be healthy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How are you going to be able to be healthy when the planet is not healthy? So if we continue to generate these chemicals and dump it into the environment, and they don't go away even after we stop making them,